What is up, everybody? Toaster Corgi Gaming, back at it again in League of Legends, only we're playing, well, we're not playing, we already played this, but I was an idiot and didn't hit the record button before playing this match a few days ago, but it actually had some good moments. Now, it is ARAM, I'll admit, which getting anything in this game mode is a little tricky, but hey, what you gonna do? And yes, I had ping out the ass. That happened a lot over the weekend. I still don't know why, it just does. But we were playing Tarek in this game. And Tarek is an old favorite champion of mine. I don't know why, he just was. For a support champion, back when he was in the Gem Knight days, which this skin, Armor of the 5th Age, actually makes a homage to with his hammer. Now, he is a support champion, and a tank. He's not going to do a lot of damage, but he makes up for it come late game. Now, for those who don't know, his passive, Bravado, every time he uses an ability, his next two basic attacks will gain 100% attack speed and deal bonus magic damage based off his armor, and reduce his basic ability cooldowns by 1 second per hit. Key in point, like so, if you can make out anything there just now. The key is to constantly use your abilities, hit 2 autos, and then use another ability, repeat ad nauseum. Which makes him in team fights, when he gets his stuns, very strong. Now, his Q ability, Starlight's Touch, passively gains a stack every 15 seconds when hitting a Bravado attack, which basically you get 2 points in it, and you can have it to instantly level 2 anytime you use the 2 autos. And the autos will apply to anything, minion, monster, champion, doesn't matter. Every time you use it, you get probably the worst heal in the game, like the weakest heal. And I mean the weakest. Like, Senna could heal more. Because healing that little is not that great. And that's a base heal. Now, you can make the argument that, oh, his heals will be stronger with healing support items. Yes, that is true. But, unfortunately, that's not really what he needs at the start of the game, is it? Now, his W, Bastion, is his interesting ability, where passively he'll get armor and will form a tether between him and a target ally, as well as putting a shield on both. Now, he can also cast it on himself, but it doesn't get the full benefit of having a bonus effect. And it scales off of his max health, which is also good with the build I'm running here, using Grasp of the Undying to gain, in combat, charging up a life-gaining attack, which will heal Tarek as well as increase his max health. And I just hit the wrong button. But we've also got the ability, the rune Overgrowth, as well equipped, so anytime a champ, 8 minions die near him, he will gain bonus max health. It's not much, but come late game, in a game like this, it adds up. Now, people would say, oh, you're supposed to run Press the Attack or Lethal Tempo, and I say, you're wrong. Because that's for damage dealers. Tarek is not a damage dealer in any way. But this is where I'm about to eat my own words, and I'll let the footage say it. That is right, ladies and gentlemen, your eyes do not deceive you. We got a Pentakill in an ARAM game on Tarek support. And then we died. Because see, that's the problem. Tarek doesn't do a lot of damage. His job is mainly to heal, shield, and crowd control people on the enemy team. Now, in the old days, his shield, they didn't change much with his rework from a few years back. All they did was make him more of a team fighter instead of a potential 1v1er of a brawler, because his stun, Dazzle, he projects a beam that does magic damage and stuns people for 1.5 seconds. It's not much, but when you have two people linked with the Bastion tether, it actually can stun multiple targets, which is not half bad. But it's still pretty bad. Tarek's main issues as a champion is his heal is garbage. Now, if I can pull up the scoreboard here, we built our first item as a Heart Steal, which, I'm covering up a lot of the action, sorry. We rushed a Heart Steal first item because it will give us bonus health, ability haste, which ultimately doesn't matter, that's mainly for our ultimate, which, our ultimate, Cosmic Radiance, after 2.5 seconds, any allies within the AoE effect will become invulnerable to damage, which is actually pretty damn good. You just have to be able to survive the initiation cast, because 2.5 seconds in this game is a pretty long time. I mean, 2.5 seconds is a long time. You'll know if you've ever been hit by Morgana Q that any longer than that is agony. But the Heart Steal will also deal bonus physical damage up to a certain amount and grant max health each time it's used, which scales into Tarek's abilities, like his heal, mostly his heal, because that's all he does. He just tanks, crowd controls, and heals. Repeat ad nauseum. But the bonus damage is also pretty good, because this item, well, there's another item, Titanic Hydra, which is probably the only damage item you'd want on a tank building Heart Steal, because it gives an AoE attack, but it's good for wave clear, but it gives you bonus AD. Oh, here we go. See? Tanking the entire enemy team and not taking any damage. Now Tarek using his Bastion on a target ally will apply the heal, the stun, and the ult to the target as well. And we couldn't kill him in time, because that's the problem. Tarek is not really a damage dealer. That Pentakill was a happy accident. Our job is mostly to just tank and shield. That's it. If we get a kill, that's great. But I don't want to build full damage, because that's not what the team needs in an ARAM game. You gotta work with your teammates. Unfortunately, Anivia kind of cucks us a lot this game with their ice wall. And believe me, I got pissed at them a lot for it. Now, I'll admit there are times I go for the kill because I want to kill something. I want to bonk them with the hammer into next week. And Anivia is super squishy, because Anivia is supposed to stay on the back line, while LeBlanc just goes in and bursts a squishy target into nothing. Karthus can do a lot of damage if he just stays in the enemy line of fire. The problem is we don't really have a lot of engaged champions this match like they do. We have more backline characters. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You just gotta make do with the hand you're dealt. Now, if we check back at the scoreboard here, we're getting Tear the Goddess to build into a Fimbulwinter, which every time we land a stun on a target, we'll get a shield based off our max mana, and we're building a Frozen Heart to go into it as well, which not only gives us mana, cooldown reduction for our ultimate, and a lot of armor, which scales off of our passive and for our survivability. Dead bird walking. It also will slow enemies' attack speed just for being near them. Which, Garen, running a Gale Force, the enemy Garen, running crit items and attack speed for his E-Spin, will actually drop the damage of it because the DPS from it will go down. Now, I still don't know why Riot decided few years ago to change Garen's E-Spin to scale off of attack speed and be able to crit. But that's them. They do what they want, or in more accurate term, what the Chinese want. Now, honestly, Taric is a pretty forgotten champion. I have not enjoyed playing him in normal games since they got rid of an item called Face of a Mountain. And if anybody knows what that is, and you remember it, congratulations, you're as old as I am. Those were the good old days. You could just keep shielding and shielding forever. Now, in my defense, I could have run Glacial Augment in this game to add an even bigger slowing area, but unfortunately, we don't have a lot of champions that can clean up easily. But it is what it is. Now see, when I play ARAM, I'll make sacrifices for the team and play what the team needs. We don't have a tank, I'll play a tank. Or reroll for a tank. We need AP, I'll pick a champion with AP scalings. Because I try to be a team player. Because you don't really see Malphites in here, in this mode, going full tank, because they're just going to go full AP and just nuke somebody every time they get their ult up. And there goes Pyke doing Pyke thing. And there we go, flashing for the kill. Because I wanted that Pyke dead. Because I don't like Pyke. Now see, we've got our Frozen Heart, and we've been sitting on our Tear of the Goddess. Now, the mythic items will have passive bonuses for every single legendary item you have, which can be a Frozen Heart, a pair of boots, or the starting items in the case of ARAM. Now, we are 16 and 5. I still don't know how we got that many kills. It's been a long time since I played Taric. Like I said, I hadn't played him since... I hadn't enjoyed playing him since they got rid of Face of the Mountain. Which they got rid of it, but they brought back the other two support items. And yet they're never going to bring... They bring back Spear of Shojin, but they're never going to bring back Sword of the Occult, which was an AD Magi's. There's a lot of inconsistencies with League of Legends and Riot Games, mainly due to their own bullshit. Like how they actually explained years ago how Lee Sin, the blind monk, gets affected by Teemo's blinding dart. It kind of made a little bit of sense, but it wasn't that great of an explanation. So I raised the question to them. You explained how a blind person gets affected by a blinding dart. It reverses his blindness and he's overloaded mentally. So how does it affect Lysandra, whose eyes were slashed out in the lore by an Ursine, or Rek'Sai, who has no eyes at all and sees in-game with sonar pings? See? I'm not the damage dealer, I'm just the tank. Let my teammates clean them up. Unfortunately, getting my Bravado stack passive off is a little annoying when teammates, and there's another fact right there I hate about ARAM changes. The towers that you break, that are destroyed, now make new terrain. Which unfortunately Ornn cannot destroy with his E-dash because it's not player made. Even though technically it is, because the player destroyed the turret. But I digress. A benefit to Tarek's healing on his Q with his Bravado passive is that you can spam the ever-loving hell out of it by wailing away on the turrets. Or anything, which is how the famous Master Yi Tarek funnel, that looked like it shouldn't have hit, but it did. That's how the Master Yi Tarek funnel became actually usable. By having Tarek play in the jungle and just camp raptors and heal up Master Yi in the mid lane. Now I'll admit that was a horrible flash. I was going for it. I thought I could get it, but I overshot. I'm not perfect. I know for a fact I'm not perfect. Look at the videos I make. And 16 and 8, 16 and 6. I'm only human. And there we have the issue of the long cast time. Now I also could have rushed. I also could have survived, but I also could have built a Spirit Visage to survive. And boost any healing I get from myself. But I didn't. Because I'm an idiot, as we've proved. But we are rushing towards our next item being a Force of Nature, which, against Victor and Syndra, it's actually not a bad item. Spirit Visage might have been a little better, because bonus healing, I could have done better. And movement speed is not really a necessity in this mode, because I can be faster than an opponent and still miss my stuns. Trust me on that. And I'll admit, I could have just had this entire video doesn't have to be this long. I just wanted to show off that Pentakill, which I do have saved, that clip. But I kind of wanted to explain the build-up to the disbelief behind it. Because during that whole team fight, at some point, my brain just shut off. And I didn't even know. I had to look through the footage to see how the hell I got 2 of them killed. Because somehow I was the one who dealt the last hit when the turret killed them. And I ulted very, very late. But that's an issue I had to deal with. Because unlike Pyke, I am an actual support champion instead of a mid laner having an identity crisis. And LeBlanc almost got her. And turret loves to shoot at a snail's pace. Because I remember back in the day when turrets would actually shoot a laser when you got to the base turrets, or the inhibitor turrets, and I liked that. They need to bring that back. You get shot at continuously and you're slowed. Now when it comes to champions there, like Wukong, Shaco, or LeBlanc, certain champions, when you're playing them, have key abilities, like Udyr's Ram stance. I was about to say bear stance, but it's not bear anymore, it's a ram. Unless you're using the Phoenix Spirit Guard skin. Or Jarvan IV's passive, to where you mark a target and it has a cooldown. To where if you're fighting a Wukong, LeBlanc, a Shaco, and you're attacking their clones, if you get the original before, there we go, got all 4 people. You manage to hit the original. You can use the passive to actually tell who's the real one. And thankfully, our Heartsteel and Grasp the Undying can apply on the clones of other champions. Now it will build up over time, you just gotta get there. Like, it's already at 300, and the charged attack deals 400 plus. And we've got over 5,000 health. And we gain bonus health equal to our max mana.
Say hello to my little jet. Bask in the glow.
See, protect the teammate. Because Senna is, like I said, Pike being an assassin with an identity crisis, Senna's the same way. She's a marksman. Having 270 plus AD. As a support. And honestly, Senna is one of those champions I ban every game. And see, here we go. That right there is why we don't run lethal tempo. And see, saved our Senna with the ult that time.
A little glimmer in the night.
Now, unfortunately, we are under the effects of grievous wounds from 2 people, so any healing we do will actually be lowered. But our heal is sitting at a whopping 300. Actually 78 health per stack, which is not great. 308, 388, not bad. You just got to get to that many, is the problem. And see, due to Tarek's abilities being so spammable, you can just keep the low health heals coming out in all the time. It's a bit of a double-edged sword. And we are currently, at this point in the match, building our support healing item. Which there's quite a few to choose from. Question is, which one do I want to help the team? Because we're also dealing with having no magic damage. And I somehow hit that. Now, I could have gone a Knight's Vow to protect my Senna, but since she is quote-unquote the ADC of this match for us, and see, there's that damage right there from the Heartsteel. That huge, whopping amounts of damage. Which constantly gets bigger and bigger the longer the game goes. Now, as an item, it's a lot better on huge tanks like Scion, Cho'Gath, who have other ways of increasing their health in their kit. Like Scion just killing any minions, or Cho'Gath with his ultimate. Which are... Trust me on this, Scion and ARAM with the item never dies. He gets so much health, not even percent max health damage and anti-heal is enough to take him out. Like, you'd probably need a Vayne with Kraken Slayer or a Gwyn and a Bork. See, there's that damage proc. Unfortunately, Heartsteel's damage boost, large amounts of damage, is only once per champion. Save the Anivia, or try to. And it's not enough. Get ulted, and die. But we weren't able to get our support item in time. But yeah, that was that game. A bit rough. I got lucky. That's all it was. But let me know what you think. If you'd like to see more content like this, drop a comment down below. Hit like and subscribe and all that jazz. And maybe next time I'll learn to actually hit the record button beforehand. So you don't have to deal with me running my mouth non-fucking stop on a recording of a recording. So do all that, and I'll catch you on the next one. Ciao.